Title: If the elevator opens on the 13th floor, don't get in, no matter what you see inside. It started as a dare. Our building didn't even have a 13th floor, or so we were told. The buttons skipped from 12 to 14, and no one questioned it. Superstition, they said. Design choice. Avoid the number and avoid bad luck. But late one night, while my friend Malcolm was drunk off cheap whiskey and Reddit horror threads, he swore he saw it. Claimed the elevator stopped there. That he heard something whisper through the crack of the doors. We laughed it off, said he must have passed out and dreamed it. But he was convinced. And in the days that followed, something changed in him. He got quiet. Twitchy. Wouldn't take the elevator anymore, even if it meant climbing 15 floors. Then, one morning, he was gone. His apartment door wide open, everything inside untouched, but no sign of him. The only thing left was a single sticky note taped to the elevator. Don't open it if it dings after midnight. I should have listened. Last Friday, I worked late, way later than I usually do. Around 12:47 a.m., I was heading back up to my floor when the elevator arrived with a ding. I pressed 14, leaned back, and closed my eyes. But instead of going up, the elevator dropped, fast. The digital panel flickered and glitched. Then it landed, softly, with a mechanical ping. I looked up. The display read, 13. There was no button for it. No reason the elevator should have stopped. But still, the doors slowly creaked open. Just a narrow slit at first. I should have backed away. Should have hit the emergency stop. But curiosity gripped me. Inside, the hallway looked identical to all the other floors. Beige carpet, flickering lights, dull silence. But something was wrong. The light was too dim, like it was struggling to shine. The air beyond the doors didn't feel like air at all, more like thick fog, invisible but heavy. And then I heard it. My voice. "Hey! You forgot your phone," it said. From inside the hallway. I reached into my pocket. My phone was there. Screen locked. Untouched. Then I heard it again. "Come on. I'm just trying to help. You dropped something." My own voice. But warped, like it had been recorded and replayed with too much bass and static. I backed away, slamming my hand on the door close button. But the voice kept getting closer. Louder. "You always forget things. Let me show you." I watched as a figure stepped into the sliver of visible hallway, and I swear to you, it was me. Same clothes, same face. But the skin looked rubbery. Wet. Like it had been pulled tight over something else. And the eyes. They weren't mine. They were pitch black. Reflective. Smiling without lips. That thing didn't want to help. It wanted to replace me. The doors finally slammed shut and the elevator rocketed upward on its own. When it opened on 14, I sprinted out and bolted to my apartment, heart nearly exploding. I triple locked the door and stayed up until dawn. The next morning, I told building management, but they said no one had accessed the elevator after midnight. Claimed it was an error in the system. Said the 13th floor didn't exist. But I know what I saw. And since that night, I've seen things moving in reflective surfaces, things with my face. Sometimes, in the corner of my eye, I'll catch my reflection smiling when I'm not. Or mouthing words I didn't say. I'm not sure if I ever fully made it out of that elevator. Or if maybe something came with me. Rules to survive the 13th floor. 1. Never ride the elevator past midnight, especially alone. 2. If it stops on floor 13, do not look outside. 3. No matter what voice you hear, do not respond. 4. If the door is open and you see yourself, hit close and do not blink. 5. And if it gets in, it's already too late. I didn't know it had followed me until I got home. The apartment was unusually silent, not the comforting kind. The air was heavy, like it hadn't been moved in hours. No humming fridge, no distant city sounds leaking through the window. Just dead silence. I flicked the light switch near the door. Nothing. My heart sank. I lived in a fully powered building. Lights should never go out. Still, I chalked it up to a fuse and used my phone flashlight to make my way to the bedroom. That's when I saw it. My closet door was open, wide, and I never, ever leave it open. A rule from childhood I'd never grown out of. But it wasn't just the door. Hanging from the closet's clothes rail was my suit jacket, but now slashed through, like 5 claws had raked it from shoulder to hem. I didn't even remember putting it in the closet. I approached slowly, breath shallow, every step feeling like it was echoing through a void. As I reached out to push the closet door further, the light on my phone began flickering. I tried shaking it, but then it went out entirely. I heard breathing. Not mine. A slow, heavy exhale. Right beside me. I bolted. Out the door. Down the fire escape. I didn't stop until I was on the sidewalk, trembling, drenched in sweat. My phone screen flickered back on. It had one notification. 13, you're home. No app, no sender. Just that. I deleted it, of course. Threw the phone in a dumpster. But deep down, I knew it didn't matter. For days after, I refused to go back to my apartment. I stayed with friends, made excuses. But everywhere I went, hotels, couches, even a hospital waiting room one night, elevators found me. They'd open when no one had called them. They'd arrive on the 13th floor even in buildings without one. One night, as I watched a movie on my friend's couch, the television glitched into static. Then a shape, barely visible, leaned close to the screen from the inside. My own reflection stared back. But it blinked, and I hadn't. I ran again. I've changed cities 3 times now. Changed my name. I avoid buildings with elevators. I take stairs even if it's 30 flights. But sometimes I still see the number 13 appear in strange places. Receipts. Bus tickets. Room numbers that shouldn't exist. Once, on a fogged-up mirror, I found it written in condensation. I hadn't showered. And worst of all, that breathing. That low, damp exhale. It returns in moments of quiet. In dreams. In phone calls with no caller ID. It's not in the elevator anymore. It's in me. I don't know how much longer I'll last. I've stopped sleeping more than an hour at a time. I've started hearing knocks on doors that aren't there, footsteps in the walls, whispers from the outlets. My own voice has started saying things I don't remember thinking. And each time I look into a mirror now, it takes just a second too long for my reflection to move in sync with me. So if you ever find yourself standing before an elevator that opens to a floor that shouldn't exist, no matter what, don't get in. Even if you see someone you know. Even if it's yourself. Because once you see what's inside, it already sees you. The moment the elevator doors close behind you, your heartbeat syncs with the mechanical hum of descent. But the floor indicator doesn't move. It stays frozen on 13, flickering, then dimming out entirely. You press other buttons, 1, G, close, open, but nothing responds. The lights overhead buzz and begin to pulse, not flicker like old fluorescent bulbs, but like something alive, breathing, beating with anticipation. Then, silence. You hear it behind you, but you don't turn. The scratching, low and rhythmic, like nails dragging across damp metal, grows louder. The walls feel closer. You close your eyes, but even in that darkness, it's there, behind your eyelids, crouching, contorting, watching. A low growl vibrates through the elevator floor and into your shoes, your spine, your skull. It doesn't need to see you anymore. It knows you. It wears your scent, your fears, your memories like a second skin. The walls of the elevator begin to stretch, not outward, but inward, bending with impossible geometry, folding in on themselves like wet paper. Symbols begin to rise from the floor, glowing red like heated iron, ancient and pulsing. You recognize none of them, but somehow, you understand. It's a summoning, or a banishment, or a birth. It's all of those. You reach out to touch the panel again, and your hand passes through it like water. The buttons are gone. They were never there. A whisper slithers around your ear, your own voice, but strained, like it's been screaming for hours underwater. Let me out. You're in my place. You scream, but nothing comes out. Not even air. The elevator lights go out, and the thing finally steps forward, no longer shy, no longer hiding behind shadows or sound. It wears your face, but not quite. Its eyes are too wide, its teeth far too many. And it's laughing. No, you're laughing, but not of your own will. Your chest convulses with a sound that isn't yours. It opens its arms, not as a threat, but an invitation. It wants to trade places. To wear you outside these doors. And you realize, that's what the elevator is for. Not transport. Exchange. Someone always comes out. But not always the same someone that went in. The lights flicker once more, then stabilize. Ding. The doors open to the lobby. The same bellhop nods at you. Everything all right, sir? He asks. You nod, slowly. Yes, you reply, your voice a fraction too smooth, too calm. You step out, your gait a little off, your smile too wide, your eyes scanning the room with inhuman calculation. Behind you, the elevator door closes with a sigh, and inside, your real body pounds helplessly on the mirrored glass, silent, unseen, forever trapped on the 13th floor. And the world never notices the difference.